Hello everyone and welcome to our Top 5 Records video. Today is a very special day because for the first time in over decades, this record has been reissued. Buckingham Nicks, and this is a very important moment for music lovers. And in this video I'll explain why it is, I'll review the album, and also I'm going to be comparing this new remaster, reissue with an original to find out if this is actually a copy you would like to own, or should you hunt down a 70s pressing. Now, first of all, why is this such a big thing? Well, basically the Buckingham Nicks album, which is the only record they made as a duo, was not a big success at its initial release, and I believe it were some record executives who got the idea for them to join Fleetwood Mac, which made Fleetwood Mac into the commercial success they became in the late 70s. And the fact that this record has not been reissued since I believe 1982 is particularly interesting because of the success of Rumors. Now, Rumors was a big album at the time, but when my generation, or even more Generation Z, is coming over to my place and they dive into the vinyl collection, 90% of the times they pick out my copy of Rumors and people want to listen to Rumors. I believe the popularity has somewhat to do with a special episode of Glee paying homage to Rumors. And honestly, of course, it's a great record, and I love it when after so many years a record gets even more popular. For example, I only started listening to Rumors after that new wave of interest. My parents bought a copy of that record, though they were there when the record was released. They got into Rumors after the new wave of interest. So, humongous interest. And honestly, if you are interested in Fleetwood Mac, this album, and if you're interested in Rumors, this is actually the thing that comes closest, identity-wise, writing-wise. I mean, I love the record before that, the self-titled Fleetwood Mac album, which is great, you should also give a shot to that, give that a chance. But the record they made after Rumors was so experimental that brilliant album, but identity-wise, it's not that close to Rumors. Buckingham Nicks is. Ever since I first heard this record, I was just stunned by the writing, the playing. This is a folk rock album that has so much skillful playing, beautiful vocals, great songwriting. If this would have been reissued more often, I think this would have been embraced more as a classic and would have stood out more than it did right now. Because the last couple of years, if you would go to a record vendor, and I've had talks about it with record sellers, they said, yeah, whenever I find a copy, you just put $80 on them and they sell. But the demand is so much higher, and it is a record that is being demanded by people with a 30, 40 bucks budget. So now it finally is there. Buckingham Nicks, a gorgeous album. I just got it this morning. It has a hype sticker, the legendary debut studio album from Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham, available for the first time in over 40 years, newly remastered from the analogue tapes. I'm not going to show you the inner sleeve. I'm going to first do a comparison with the original, because the original, this has been my go-to copy. And this go-to copy looks like this. I bought it at a record fair. It has lyrics in the inner side. I just assume that that's exactly the way the gatefold looks on the other one. Some people want me to open it, but I want to keep the shrink wrap in touch. I know people think that I'm mad, but I love shrink wrap. And I know what it looks like on this side. Here we've got the vinyl with the Polydor red label. You'll find out that the new label is a notch to this label. And this original copy, a 1973 copy mastered at Sterling by Bob Ludwig. just for the music geeks or the music fans who do not know who Bob Ludwig is, I understand, because not everybody's into getting into mastering engineers, but Robert Ludwig is the master of his day in the 60s, 70s, 80s. He made some of the best sounding records. I made a video on my channel in which I'm counting down the top 25 of his best albums. This is among that. This is the master at work. The original sounds amazing. It's one of the finest sounding pressings of the 70s. The detail is gorgeous. The amount of detail in the voice is stunning. The acoustic guitar, I mean, seldom has the sound of an acoustic guitar been so beautiful. It's bright, it's detailed, it's warm. It's a master of a pressing. So, why did I buy the new reissue? This one. Before I get into the sound quality here and my expectations, I just bought it for this video. I wanted to talk about it. I thought this is such a remarkable moment in time. It's worthwhile to do a comparison. Now, I did not know when I ordered it that it was mastered from the original albums. Supposedly, there have been given loads of reasons why this record has not been reissued. Some people say that the rights and the contracts with Polydor were the issue. Some people say that there were difficulties with regard to the cover and that one of them wanted more extras, the other wanted a different cover. Some people said that the master tape was lost, but this comes from the original master. At least that's what the label says. Label is a nod to the Polydor one, but it says Rhino. I'm, by the way, reviewing the normal release, the $30 release, not the Rhino High Fidelity release. The Rhino High Fidelity release is, I believe, supposedly mastered by Kevin Gray, and I was surprised to find a different name in the dead wax here. This one is mastered by Chris Bellman. At least Chris Bellman's signature is there. And though Bob Master is a master in his craft, Kevin Gray is a master in his craft, Chris Bellman is a new master in his craft. So I'm really surprised that they put two different mastering engineers on this reissue, though it's from the same label. But of course, one is audiophile and the other is not. Though putting Chris Bellman on your mastering, just, I mean, that's spectacular. So there is a master tape, and this comes from it. How does it sound? And what does it sound to compared to the original? I'll tell you. Honestly, it's pretty good. It sounds a little bit brighter. It sounds less warm. It's not as fresh and punchy as the original. And the texture and overall sound has slightly changed. But man, Chris Bellman did an incredible job. Remember, you are battling sound-wise the master of his craft in the original heyday with a fresh master tape. And this is great. This is detailed. This has vocals in great quality. I'd even say I haven't listened to the Rhino High Fidelity audio file, but this could be sold as an audiophile pressing. For $30, if you're new, or if you haven't had the chance to listen to this record yet, Rhino did an amazing job in making this release. Now, I'm not gonna listen to this with the original at home, so I'll probably sell this or trade this with friends. But this is really, really good. And if you've been curious and didn't have the chance, this release is really, really something. So I'm curious, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.